One. Hi everyone, it's Monica Page here, a marketing consultant. I'm here with Chris McCabe from e-commerce. Chris, how are you doing?
Good, Monica. How are you?
I'm great, thank you. So we've been talking a little bit, Chris and I, about the policy changes that are coming into effect from Amazon on Friday this week.
Yeah.
I've read the legal jargon around it, but Chris, maybe you can explain it to us in some more detail in
Right.
simpleton terms.
It's an account suspension policy change stemming from some of the activity in the EU with German accounts. The government there trying to get Amazon to be more transparent about why they're suspending sellers. And that's morphing apparently into a global policy change around how many days of notice you get before you're suspended. Not every seller, not all the time, but as a rule, part of TOS, it looks like it's going to be, as of Friday the 16th of August, you will have 30 days, not 3 days, to address an incoming account suspension. We don't know whether or not it's account health services that will take over this process, if they'll have seller performance investigators, if they'll have another team, another management group in charge of this process, but we'll have to see what the messaging looks like and so forth, what the details are on Friday.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So the way I see it is that that gives sellers some more time to problem solve and put a case together.
Yeah.
And, it's good news really for the most part. Is that how you see it?
Mostly good news, some bad news, which we
Okay.
can get to in a second. The good news, of course, is you have more time to troubleshoot. You have more time to implement remedies, which will reduce the likelihood that you'll get suspended, right? You have to write a plan, form an appeal that explains those changes and improvements so that whatever is going wrong will be considered fixed by the time that 30 days is up. That's good news because 3 days is not enough time to implement much of anything. You can do some research or troubleshoot a little bit. If you've got a problematic supplier and you're a reseller, you can maybe end the relationship with that supplier and find another one for the same products. If you're private label, you have a product that's not faring so well, higher return rates and complaints and so forth. Obviously, you've got 3 days to deactivate a listing, maybe pull some units out in a removal order from FBA and inspect them once you get them. And that's something you can accomplish in a few days perhaps, but 30 days is a much wider window. And quite honestly, to execute substantial due diligence improvements, I mean, a month is more realistic, right? Than
Right.
72 hours, which you might not even have a full 72 hours if account health calls you and you miss the call and you're back and forth trying to message them about what do you need in this plan of action because I need to do it right now and you haven't told me anything. So
Yeah, exactly. And I think it gives Amazon more of a chance to tell you why as well, what's going on and what is it
yeah,
that you need to do to fix the problem at hand, having that extra time. You might actually get more information back from Amazon.
we hope so, but they
Yeah.
will have to tell us more. They will have to say
Mm-hmm.
more about what listings, what are the complaints, what are the problems. Historically, they've been so threadbare in the
Mm-hmm.
information. So on the one hand, it's great to have more time to deal with it. On the other hand, you need more details and information that they haven't been giving in suspension notifications. They've been giving people categories for the reason why they're suspended, categories of complaints, authenticity, IP infringements. They're not giving a lot of granular detail and nitty gritty that sellers need in order to formulate a proper appeal. This has been the chicken and egg problem from the very beginning. So I guess part of the bad news issues are they going to have better messaging and are they really going to offer true transparency in this part of the process?
Right. Yeah.
So we'll see. It's
Yeah.
going to unfold soon, very soon. There's not a heck of a lot people can do between now and Friday in terms of preparing strategies, but already if you're getting warnings in your performance notifications, you should be going through those and making sure that you're taking some action or troubleshooting on some level
Mm-hmm.
and preparing just as you would without this policy change for a potential future account suspension. If you're not
Yeah.
doing that now, of course, I would say your odds are greater that you'll face a suspension. And of course, if you're not able to really write those ideas out and explain them in an efficient way that an investigator would accept, then it won't matter if it's 30 days or 45 days or 45 months. I mean, you won't have your appeal accepted. You won't avoid the account suspension, and then you will have to do it after you're suspended trying to get reinstated.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So,
yeah. And this also, with this policy change, I think it motivates people to keep, or motivates sellers to keep more of a clean house, keep their things in order. And yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
I mean, sellers have complained about lightning strike suspensions for a long time. If they're suspended after 30 days of a window of 30 days where they could have put together a well-formulated appeal and they didn't do it, or they weren't able to figure out what the problems were and diagnose them properly to begin with. I mean, that says something larger about the functionality of your account and whether or not you have long-term health on the platform. I mean, anyone can write a plan that offers the world in a short-term fix, but are you going to be able to back up those words with, you know, the actions that they require? Otherwise, this is a useless exercise and they'll be suspending you in a month or two anyway. So it can't just be empty words. You have to back that up with real action, real due diligence changes and improvements. So we'll see. It's an interesting time. Amazon has to pony up a little bit more on their side, and I think sellers will be called upon to improve things and demonstrate their improvements and why they'll be credible or effective too. So I think both sides will be demanding more of each other as we get closer to Q4. Interesting time of year to be launching this type of thing. Amazon only gave itself a month from when this was announced, so they're running around crazy on their side, trying to get this organized and together. There might be some blips or glitches in the beginning that we'll have to track and keep an eye on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Cool. So we expect to see this come into place from Friday, and I'm sure, Chris, you'll have some more updates for us following that to explain what else is going on.
They love to do Fridays. I don't know why they roll out major initiatives on Fridays, but Friday and Saturday and Sunday this weekend, I'll be around answering questions. I'm sure we'll have a whole batch of people who get these emails and are trying to interpret them, or maybe haven't heard the sound of my voice and they're wondering where this came from. So we'll be around to explain this. Obviously, go to the website, e-commerce Chris, and fill out my contact form, or just email me at chris@ecommercechris, and we'll answer.
Great. Thanks so much, Chris.
Thanks, Monica. Talk to you soon.
See you later.
Bye.